404-339-1122. Texas Tech has made the announcement the winningest coach in their history is going to be honored into their Hall of Fame this September. And there are so many ways. First of all, he has earned that opportunity, of course, the late Mike Leach. And the way he was treated, this will be interesting. Will they be able to bury hatchets? I don't know. But this is something that I go, oh, really now? Now because he's dead? Is that ever going to happen if he was still alive? But good for Mike Leach, good for his family that he's honored in Lubbock coming up this football season.
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn on this. On the one hand, I think it's great. I think that Mike Leach deserves a spot in the Texas Tech Hall of Fame without a doubt. I think that the things that he did for that university are still being measured at this point in time. They wouldn't be where they are in the place that they are with the potential that they have under Joey McGuire without the Mike Leach era. There's others that you could throw into that mix as well, but he's certainly near the top. He's a guy who carved out a legend out there in Lubbock, and the people love him. I think it's unfortunate that there at the end it was, a battle with administration. I don't think that the Tech fans ever stopped loving him. I think that, we saw the outpouring of support when he passed. It does rub me the wrong way, though, that the administration is kind of, getting a little bit of rub off of his memory. And I know that there's probably a big changeover since the same people he was dealing with and the people that are dealing with things right now. But I kind of had this thought, and then I looked around and I realized, okay, good, I'm not the only one that thinks this way. But, yeah, it just feels a little weird because of the way things ended. If we're just talking about the pure Tech fan who, again, had nothing to do with it, they just showed up, they watched the Red Raiders under Leach, they were at school at that time or whatever the case may be, they love this, and it's well-deserved and all of that, and I hope that they, whether it's a good smile on their face when a highlight package is playing or a little tear in their eye because of the memories that they still have from the Leach era, all that's well and good. But I don't like that the Tech administration is kind of getting the rub like everything was kosher and all good there at the end. There's even a quote in the Athletic article that was put out about this from Sam Kahn and I think maybe Bruce Feldman as well. I read it right before I came over here, and they asked an anonymous coach of what they think Mike Leach would have thought about getting this honor, and the person responded, he probably would have said, give me my damn money. And so, that was never resolved. They refused to pay him, and that was just a big point of contention, even all the way up until that bowl game. I mean, that was a storyline. It got rehashed during that time. Tech won that bowl game, got the big own, and probably felt like they won the war, so to speak, and then he passes the next year. And so I think there was a lot of things unresolved there. And I don't, I said this actually a couple weeks ago, I believe, when they were kind of honoring him and when he passed and really building it up, I was so torn because I totally understand from the perspective of those same people I was talking about, the people I know that went to school when he was there and loved Mike Leach and hated the way that ended. And then there is the other side of it. That was that administration piece that did everything in their power to not give him what he felt like he deserved, to fought him in, the lawsuit and all of that. And those people are also getting the rub off of this. And that's where I'm really torn on it because he needs to be honored. But I don't like the fact that Tech's getting a lot of this this rub. I guess is the only way I know how to describe it really off of Mike Leach. I hope that makes sense. It's nothing against Tech fans. It's nothing really against the university. It's more just the situation and the way it's kind of perceived now is not what it was when he was actually alive. That was not all solved. And so that gives me a little bit of a weird feeling, but no doubt he deserves to be honored.
Hugh Cat, Mike Leach built this stadium. That's from a Tech supporter to me at a game recently. Katie Rader, Cody Campbell money played. He played for Mike Leach. Katie Rader. No one in the current administration was a part of what happened to Mike Leach.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning. Yeah. I said I don't even know if there's anybody still on there. So, yeah, I mean, I acknowledge that. I understand that the initial reaction, and not even necessarily you, Katie, because I don't know your tone of voice when you respond. I know there are probably some people that just hear generally what I'm saying and go, oh, my gosh, I can't. No, it's nothing against anybody. It's just that it's looked at as though it's like it was all good, and it wasn't. And it just feels a little weird to me to be honoring him and wearing shirts and doing all these different things when it wasn't that way when he was still alive. And I wish it would have been.
Yeah, the fan base loved the man.
Yeah, no doubt about the fan. I made that very clear, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, from Kim. I'm driving. I have a ton to say about this. Kim Coulter's a huge, of course, Texas Tech booster as well. Katie Rader, first they should. Second, they didn't have to. Leach refused a settlement from Laura, which exceeded the bonus he thought he deserved. So there's some of that coming out. But Kim Coulter, when you get a second, okay, first, I love Mike Leach, and then maybe you'll have some other responses on that. And as we get them, here's from Truck Stop Gumby. I can't help but roll my eyes a little at the mention of Mike Leach, but the man deserves his due.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rehash it 15 times, but for the fans, absolutely. That's great. Administration, it's changed, all that, but it's still kind of weird if you know the story and to see – all of the pirate flags and all this stuff, the shirts and all that was all well-deserved and honored. He deserves to be honored, but, yeah, it's just a little strange given the way it ended.
Phil Benzer, I'm a Raider fan.